All right, Renee, welcome to the Community Wellness Network. Thank you for being our highlighted practitioner for the month of October 2025. It's really exciting. I honestly feel so honored that you're here. You are a shining star in lots of places, but specifically the Community Wellness Network. Like you are using um, that platform for a very specific purpose, and it's to help people. And I see it, and you constantly are putting things out there, and your tips are so good and accessible. And it just feels like anytime I ask somebody, so do you know what Renee does? And everybody knows. Everybody knows every time I ask. And I say, why do you think you know what she does? Have you met her? No, because you're posting, because you're giving tips, you're helping people, you're really like making an effort to make life better on the planet Earth. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I'm just honored to be in your presence.
Oh my gosh, thank you so
Mhm.
much. Um,
Yeah.
what a way to start the day off. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's really easy to do that when it's what you love, right?
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be here with you and to be the practitioner of the month for October. Fall is my favorite season, so I just feel
Mhm.
like this is meant to be.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So I know a lot of people already know what you do, but I'd love to get a little bit of the backstory of how you got here. Would you share that with us?
Absolutely, yes. So some of people out in the community may or may not know, but I was a pharmacist for 26 years. And I really loved what I did for the
Mm.
majority of those years, all but probably the last two. Um, I was really fortunate to be in management, and some people go, "Oh, no wonder you left. You were in management." But it wasn't like that. Like there were some management type things that I had to do that weren't always fun, like accountability with people.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was really fun. I got to meet lots of new people. I got to build up teams and open pharmacies and
Wow.
support teams with training and team building it like fun stuff to me. And things shifted and evolved, and unfortunately, it became make your teams work faster, and I
Mhm.
felt like I was running a fast food chain and I was not aligned at all.
Wow.
And two things happened that finally made me realize you're not going to make this work. You've got to move on. Um, the first was I started like not on Sundays dreading that I had to go to work the next day, and that had never
Oh,
happened to me.
yep.
So that's a red flag for anyone out there. If that's happening to you, take a big look at what's happening and find a way, find a way to change it. It's time. And then I realized at the son, our son was 14, and I realized the role model that I was showing him, which
Mm.
was get up and work your butt off, work long hours, completely stressed out, come home and be impatient and irritable with the people you love the most,
Mm.
and all for the money. And I
Yeah.
was like, that was it. That was it. So the next day, I actually turned in my resignation once that hit me. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. And 3 weeks later, I walked out of the pharmacy for the last time and I've never looked back.
Wow. That's amazing. But why natural? How did you move from from Western medicine into more of this holistic platform?
Yes, great question. So I already was trying to take care of myself holistically. Like I didn't want any part of what was being dispensed out of our pharmacies. I saw a lot of things, and I saw, people coming in like religiously every 4 weeks to get chronic pain medications. I saw people constantly getting high blood pressure medications, cholesterol medications, like a lot of things that we have control over. We
Mm.
we can change things in our diet and our lifestyle and most likely not need any part of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, there is absolutely a place for Western medicine.
Sure.
I am not opposed to it. There's a place for it. If you're in a car wreck and you're bleeding internally or you've broken a bone, get to the ER stat.
Yeah. Agreed.
And there, like my husband was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 12.
Mhm.
He needs
Mhm.
insulin. Like
Yeah.
we will always visit the pharmacy to get his insulin and his insulin pump supplies and all the things. So there's definitely a place, but there's also a much wider place where we don't have to be in that world, and it's with lifestyle and nutrition and holistic ways that we can take care of ourselves and just use that for those type of emergencies.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I was going to do when I left. I didn't have a plan B, but I knew that I was interested in holistic health. And so I just started taking some courses and sort of dipping my toe into it to learn like what all is out there, because I also knew I didn't know what all was out there.
Mm.
And and I stumbled across the last thing I did was I stumbled across functional diagnostic nutrition, which
Mm.
is the online course that I took to get my practitioner certification, which just I learned much more about lifestyle and nutrition measures and then also functional lab testing. And that
Nice.
was like the thing for me. I felt like, and it's probably the part of me that loved being a pharmacist, but getting that data on an individual, that just is revealing. It's so revealing of the healing opportunities that their body has, and then being able to structure lifestyle nutrition specifically for them. I was like, that's what I'm doing. So here I
That's
am.
Yes, I love that story. That's really brave of you, first of all, to just make a jump like that. So congratulations. That's awesome to not know where you're going and to quit. Like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
totally.
brave. Yeah, that's
Well, and
brave.
I
And
know I feel like I was really fortunate because my husband was extremely supportive
mm,
of he was like he recognized like you are
that's
not happy and you're making us not so happy anymore. So
yeah.
walk away, we'll figure it out. And so it was very helpful to have that support in my husband, my partner for life. It was that encouragement also that was helpful. But I like to share my story because when I did leave my when I was leaving my when I knew that I was leaving, there were some colleagues that I told my like individually that I was leaving that I had worked close with over the years,
Mm.
and it was really it just took me aback. Every single one that I talked to were like, oh my God, good for you. I wish I could do that. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, so many people were
Wow.
miserable and like it wasn't even in their realm to leave. They were like, they just felt stuck and that they couldn't change. And that
Yeah.
was it like kind of broke my heart. So
Yeah.
I like to share because I want people to feel encouraged and like there is a community that can help you and support you, or at least I can, to see what's out there, see what else you can do, because we all need to be happy. You can't be miserable like that and expect to lead a quality life that you want
Yeah.
to leave.
That's right. That's right. 100%. Wow, that's so great. And so it sounds like, I mean, it sounds like you kind of already had a passion for the holistic kind of arena anyway. And so it just fell into alignment with what you were already passionate about. Or was there some a revelation that came to you that you were like, oh, wow.
No, I already was very interested. I was
Mm,
like, learning about herbs, of course, learning
mm,
about nutrition and whole foods. Um, I was learning about essential oils because I didn't even want to take Tylenol or ibuprofen,
wow.
um, even while I was a pharmacist, because I know like what it does to our liver and our kidneys. Like at,
No.
just at a minimum. So I was already like just like researching and learning things like that on my own. My father-in-law was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer over this time, and he didn't want to do Western medicine, which I was very supportive of because I don't know what's happening with that in Western medicine right now. But back then, like there was pretty much zero option. Like you could do cancer fighting treatments, but the quality of life was horrible. And also like, you're talking months to maybe a year of life left, even doing those things that make you feel even worse. So he and my mother-in-law went to this place in Florida that was all holistic modalities and treatments
Yeah.
to support people with cancers.
Yes.
And it was just amazing. Like we went and spent a week and I went to him to all the different modalities and the treatments that he was getting, and it was just incredible. He only lived for 6 months after his diagnosis,
Mm.
but his quality of life, except for the last week, he maintained his quality of life, which is
Wow,
incredible.
that
Yeah, and so
is.
that definitely made an impression on me as well. Yeah.
Wow, I bet. That's amazing. I'm so grateful you got to see that he had that quality of life too, you know.
Oh
That's
yeah.
important, I think, as family to be able to see that our family is having a well life to the best of their ability. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And can you talk to us a little bit about what does a day in the life of a client of Renee's look like? Like how do you take your patient or your clients through process? You don't have patients, you have clients, right?
Yeah, I call them
Yeah, okay,
clients.
okay. So how do you take a client through what does it look like to work with you?
Sure. So I mostly work with women, perimenopausal and menopausal women. Part of that's very selfish. Like I have am going through that phase in my life, so I feel like it's what I know the most.
Yes.
And what I have seen of myself and then other women in this similar stage of life is that a lot of women don't realize that we don't have to settle and we don't have to suffer with
Yeah.
things that happen in our bodies due to hormone changes. Like there are actions that we can take that are in our control to make it better. And so I really want that population to know, if you are seeing your practitioner, your Western medicine practitioner, and are being told, well, this is what happens as we
Yeah.
age.
No.
Don't settle for that. You don't
Mm,
have to settle for that. And you don't necessarily have to go to extremes to get out of that situation. Like often cleaning up our diet, managing our stress, getting out and moving our body in simple ways like walking. I feel like walking is so underrated and it's
yeah.
just so immensely valuable to our mind and body. Those are things that we can change or within our control to change and make a big difference. And most women don't know that. And so I
Right.
really like getting that message out to women. I will meet with a potential client and find out what her health goals are,
Yeah.
um, and be very honest, like whether I feel like I can help her or not. I also will be very honest with if she isn't motivated enough to make the changes, to
Yeah.
invest in herself, time wise, and then sometimes financially, if people do want to move forward with functional lab testing, then I'm going to tell them you're not ready for me yet.
Yeah.
Because while I feel like I'm a pretty good cheerleader and motivator, like that person has to do the work. So
Yeah.
I can give you the information, I can hold your hand along the way. I can give you accountability if that's what you'd like, but she has to do the work. So that's how I start
Yeah.
off with every potential client, is just having that conversation, seeing if we're a good fit, and seeing if that person is really ready, then let's go. And I can focus on just lifestyle and nutrition changes with them, or we can focus on that with functional lab testing and like really pinpoint with the healing opportunities in the body.
Yeah, and so
So
talk to us a little. Oh, I apologize for interrupting.
no, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you could give us like a short description of what exactly functional labs look like or is, so people who don't know that terminology.
Yeah, sure. So I focus on what I was taught at that are some foundational functional labs. So these are labs that your Western medicine practitioner isn't typically going to run on you or just
Mm,
don't. Um, so I do a stress and hormone panel that tells us about cortisol levels and all of our sex hormones. I do a GI map that gives us a ton of information about what's going on in the gut and also tells us about some immune markers in the gut and um, some other GI markers in the gut I do a test that talks about detoxification and oxidative stress, what's
okay.
happening with those in the body, how well
Mm,
our body may or may not be digesting proteins and fats.
mm,
um, I also do a food sensitivity test, which I love. I love all of them, but I
yes.
really love this one because it's like peeling the first layers of the onion are getting after the low-hanging fruit. It identifies foods that are basically causing a lot of internal stress on the body. And so if you're having some symptoms like difficulty sleeping or skin issues or unexplained weight gain or swelling or fatigue, like all sorts of things. A lot of times, removing these foods that your body thinks that are not good for us, and often there are healthy foods on there, but your body is having an issue. The immune system is confused and it thinks it's not good and it's attacking it. So removing those for a period of time and taking that stress off the body is just, it can work wonders, wonders.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it gives the body an opportunity to heal,
Yes,
taking it.
yes,
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, cool. And so I know that you have a 5-day reset coming up. Tell us a little bit about
yes,
that.
yes, certainly. So I wanted to do something for people that is easy and doesn't cost, it's a minimal charge.
Mm.
Um, And it's focused on nutrition. So it's focused on spending 5 days of eating only whole foods. So think about the foods that you buy at the grocery store that don't have a label on them. It's your fresh fruits
Yeah.
and vegetables and your quality protein. And so really getting rid of inflammatory foods to our bodies because number one, it gives our livers and our detoxification pathways a chance to kind of catch up with any backlog that's going on because of if we're constantly putting in chemicals or toxins or foods that might have pesticides on them, like the
Mhm.
liver has to clear this stuff. And so by giving
Yeah.
it a little bit of a break and letting it catch up, that can make a huge difference on things that are happening in the body and how you're feeling and how you're sleeping. Um, it also is really helpful if someone's like, wow, yeah, I wish I didn't eat so much sugar, or I wish
Yeah.
I didn't. I could get away from gluten. It's a great jump start. Like you kind of work with a community that's going through the same thing as you
Yeah.
for 5 days, so you can get over that hump of it being hard, and
Mm.
then continue on. Like the body resets that quickly, and you find at the end of the 5 days, oh, I don't necessarily want that anymore, and you can just keep building off of that. So for anyone that is like, wow, I'd like to start making some changes in my life with my diet, but maybe you don't want to pay to work with me or pay to have functional lab testing. This is a great way just to take control of your health and your nutrition and move forward.
I love it. I love it. It's so important. That's exactly what I love about all the things you do. It seems like you're just giving people an easy step to take their next step so that they can just feel a little bit healthier and live life a little bit better. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Oh, thanks so much, Dr. Brandy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we align on a lot of things, like I could sit down and talk to you for hours about your opinions on this and that, because I love to hear what you think. But, the crux of, it feels to me like the crux of what you do is bringing easy ways for people to access well-being, regardless, even if it's just taking one tiny baby step and not spending a lot of money on labs or something like that. Like, you're there for them, and I really appreciate that a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to leave our audience with before we go?
Um, I mean, let's have a great month of October. I'm excited to keep sharing some tips and hopefully make a difference for someone.
Mm. Well, I want you to know, regardless, you make a difference. You make a
Oh,
difference. You do. I promise you. All the people that I talk to that don't even know who you are, they know what you do. You're making a difference in their life. And you actually make a difference in my life. You inspire me. When I see your stuff, I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, she's doing it. It's cool. So it gives me inspiration in my own life, too. So just know that.
thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
For sure. Well, thanks. I look forward to our conversations this month. We'll be posting different things. Renee will post things, and then we'll be helping us. If you want, just help us with little conversations on comments and things like that. Or if you have questions for her, definitely reach out. Thanks,
Yeah,
Renee.
absolutely. Thank you.